This activity video is on basic match expressions. Match expressions are a great way to add logic to your programs. Go ahead and hop into Visual Studio Code and we'll get started. So to begin, open up the A4B file as this is activity 4B. Double-click to open it and you'll see that the topic of this activity is decision making with match. As usual with activity videos, pause this video and attempt to implement the solution on your own. Afterwards, return to the video to see my implementation and to gain any insights on the topic at hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. As mentioned, this activity is about using the match keyword. The requirements state that we need to display 1, 2, 3, or other based on whether a variable has the values of 1, 2, 3, or anything else. We need to use a variable, and we can choose any value we wish in order to run the program. And we have to use a match expression to make this determination. So we don't want to use if else, we want to use match. Also in the notes, we have a note that tells us we can use the underscore to match on anything else. So if you recall, match is an exhaustive technique, which means we have to account for every single possibility in order for it to work properly. Since numbers in computing can go up to 2 billion if we're working with an i32, we would need to list out all 2 billion numbers in order to use it successfully. That's why we have the underscore to take care of that for us. So we can just match on 1, 2, and 3, and then the underscore will take care of the other 2 billion numbers. So I'm going to copy these notes into the main function, and I'll start writing some code. So here we have our notes. A variable set to any integer. So I'm going to call mine my number, and I'm going to set it to 2. Next, we need to use a match expression to determine which message to display. So we'll type in the match keyword. We want to match on my number, and we need to list out the numbers that we need to be checking. So the requirements state that we need to check for 1, 2, and 3. So we'll start with 1. So if my number is equal to 1, then we're going to do a print line macro and just display 1 per the instructions. And then 2, we'll do the same thing. So we'll have a print line macro, we'll display 2. And then for 3, another print line macro, we'll display 3. Each possibility ends with a comma to denote the end of that particular possibility. Now we need to use the underscore to match on anything else. Since we're only concerned with 1, 2, and 3, anything else, underscore, we're going to print out, as the requirements indicate, we're going to print out other. So we'll print out other. Now our program looks complete. Let's take a quick walkthrough. So if we zoom in, we can see that we have my number, and that's set to the value of 2. So my number is equal to 2. Next, we want to match on my number. So that means we want to check the value of my number. We're checking, is it equal to 1? Is it equal to 2? Is it equal to 3? Or is it equal to some other thing? In our case, my number is equal to 2. So then this line will get executed. Print line 2. So 2 will be printed to the console. And then as soon as that's done, we'll return outside of the match block. If we had my number equal to 1, then this line would print. So let's run this program and see what happens. To run the program, go to Terminal, New Terminal, type in cargo run -q -bin. We are on activity 4B, as you can see at the top. So we want to type in A4B to run the program. And the result prints out 2 as expected, since my number is equal to 2. If we try changing my number, let's change it to 8. So we'll walk through real quick again. So we're checking to see if my number is equal to one of these values present. Right now, my number is an 8. So is 8 the same as a 1? No. So this will not be executed. Is it a 2? Nope. Is it a 3? Nope. It's something else right here. We don't care what it is. We just know it's not a 1, 2, or 3. So we're going to print out other in this case. So let's run it and confirm that that's the case. We run it, and as expected, other gets printed out since There's no case for 8. It has to be the underscore, which catches everything else. And we print out other. This concludes this activity video. I'll see you in the next presentation.